we'd like to welcome you to our Planning Commission meeting this evening. This is Planning Commission meeting for April 11th, 2023. This meeting is being recorded. We're going to begin with an opening prayer by Commissioner Showers, and we'll have a pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Callis. We'll go to that point.
Our dear Father in heaven, we're so grateful for this day. We're thankful for this beautiful spring weather that we're enjoying, and so thankful for the moisture that we've had accumulated in our mountains over the last winter. And we are so thankful for the beautiful city in which we live, and to have a good city government, and to be able to participate in the processes that help to make our city better. We pray that we can be blessed with good reasoning tonight and be able to listen and make good decisions tonight. And we ask for these things in the Son Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Will everyone please arise and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance with me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to begin with a roll call of the commissioners, and we do have a new commissioner with us this evening, Karen Danielson, and we'll hear more about you after we conduct the business for this evening. But as far as a roll call, Sharon Call, here. Mike Marchbanks.
Here.
Jared Showers.
Here.
Rob Callis.
Here.
Stephen Johnson.
Here.
And Scott Thompson is absent. And Karen Danielson.
Here.
Okay. Item number 2 on our agenda, this is the approval of the minutes for March 28th, 2023. That's the last time we met. I reviewed the minutes, other than just a few small spelling errors that I didn't see anything else.
I read the minutes, but I did not read the ones that came in today. What were the changes? Does anybody remember?
They put what time, I think you arrived at the last meeting, and then there was some spelling errors on the, let's see, on the motions. There was just a spelling error on
Just
like
spelling.
the word seconded.
Okay.
There's an
Right.
N, so.
Yeah, the two things, the time you arrived, because you weren't included in the first vote, because you weren't here, so, or the vote, so. I move to approve the minutes as amended in the second report.
I second that.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the voting is unanimous. Okay, the next item on our agenda, this is a time for public comment. This would be for any items that are not already on the agenda for this evening. Is there anyone here for that purpose? Okay. The next item on our agenda is a public hearing, so we do need a motion to open a public hearing.
So moved.
Okay, I have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the voting is unanimous. This is a public hearing. It's a zoning map amendment at 455 South Lindon Park Drive. And our applicant is Dave Smith. If you'd like to come up to the front. We would appreciate it. Is there a microphone that he needs? Okay. Just so those who are watching online can also be a part of things. And our presenting staff is Michael Florence.
Okay, thanks,
Go
Commissioners.
ahead.
You're all familiar with this project that's going in with the Kia dealership. We're here this evening for a zone change. Previously, prior to June or July 2021, this property was zoned planned commercial 1, similar to the Home Depot and the commercial, or and the car dealerships across the street to the west. in June of 2021, we had a developer come in and propose some office warehouse uses there on the full 9.66 acres. And the council and planning commission decided to change it to regional commercial. And so as we've been going through the site plan process, finalizing that with the Kia dealership, the landscaping requirement is 25% in the regional commercial. For all of our other commercial zones, it's 20%. And that extra 5% has become difficult to fit in especially the parking lot landscaping, and still provide the proper area and display area for the vehicle dealership. And so Doug Smith Kia has made application to amend the zoning back to the planned commercial 1 zone. So the previous zoning prior to 2021, and then that would allow for a reduction in the landscaping by 5%. That 5% equals about just over 15,000 square feet. If I pull up the site plan real quick, most of that will be removed from the parking lot areas. And so you've got these little 2-foot islands that really don't make much sense to have there. They can't, under this ordinance, they can remove some of the landscaping around the building as well. The regional commercial zone requires it around the building. The planned commercial zone doesn't. So it frees up some additional area. The whole reason why Doug Smith Kia is moving to this area is to have more space to sell cars.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, this upper part too was something about problem with landscaping too. Does this help solve the upper part of the
It'll
law?
have to meet its own landscaping
Would be
once.
the lesser amount,
Yeah,
okay.
yep.
And will they have to come bring a new site plan, or is this
No.
something that staff can adjust?
Staff can just adjust.
Okay.
Yep. And so that's the purpose for tonight. You won't be losing any perimeter landscaping that the public will see. We're working on a final site plan for that and final landscaping plan. So really, it's a lot of that interior landscape area. So the planning commission is making a recommendation. We have this, if you make a recommendation tonight, it'll go to city council on Monday. And they are over there doing excavation work and moving forward. We are at least working on that and hopefully be open by early next year. So with that, Commissioner, I'll turn the time back to you.
Do you have any additional comments?
I mean, I don't think so. Mike said it better than I could have, so it was
Okay.
well explained, and that 5% may seem insignificant, but it's for our retail space, that's pretty significant and meaningful. So I think would be very important for us to do that.
Well, the main reasons that to me it makes sense is that the general plan aligns with the planned commercial -1 zoning, and also the Murdoch Hyundai and Lexus dealerships that are right there, both zoned the PC1. So to me, it seems like this should be able to have the same zoning as the other car dealerships. And then also that we had previously approved the dealership to locate on the site. So, but maybe there's others that have different views on it.
I feel the same way.
I think it's just
I'm ready to make a motion.
Well, let's go ahead and close the public
I don't
hearing.
know if you want to ask the public if they're here.
Anyone here for that purpose? Want to make comment?
Then I'll move to close the public hearing.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the voting is unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's to close.
that's the close the public hearing. Now, we do need a motion
Okay,
for,
I'll make that motion.
okay,
I move to recommend approval of ordinance 2023-04-0 to amend the Lindon city zoning map from regional commercial RC to planned commercial, PC1 at 4455 South Lindon Park Drive, parcel number 17-015-0121.
Okay, I have a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the voting is unanimous. Okay,
We're looking forward to that dealership when it gets
yeah,
built.
We're excited. Yeah, excited
I've
to get
driven
going.
down by there several times, and
Yeah.
gosh, you're really just taking off, aren't you?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
excited. Right now, we're moving dirt, but at some point, there's gonna be
Yeah.
a building going up, so, thank you.
Yeah, my husband was with me, and he had a lot of questions about what you were doing down there.
Well,
Oh, that's
yeah, we're
great.
excited to get to know everyone better in the city. So we're very excited.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for
Okay.
being here with us
Yeah.
tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. And our next item, number 5, is a conditional use permit, and that's with Mark Minson. Is that, are you Mark?
Mark.
And do you have someone?
I'm the partner. Yep, I'm the partner in crime. So.
Okay, do you want to come up here in front? There should be a place for you to sign in, but we also like if you have comments for you to talk in the microphone.
There's no sign-in.
There's no sign-in tonight? Okay, all right.
Just so we get the correct spelling of your names. Yeah.
Okay, and our presenting staff is Mary Barnes.
Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
So Mark Minson, and what's your name?
Austin.
Austin McEwen. They've applied for a conditional use permit for Elite Repairs and Specialized Services, which is an engine and auto repair shop at 465 North, 1030 West here in Lindon. It's just on the other side of Geneva Road within the existing industrial park. You can see the railroad right there. Elite Repairs and Specialized Services is within the light industrial zone, and they will, within this business, they will be repairing automobiles, recreation vehicles, other commercial vehicles. They talk about them here. Small equipment like mowers, trimmers, edgers, to bigger equipment like small backhoes, etc. According to the Lindon Standard Land Use Table, general auto and vehicle repair, small engine and machine repair, and personal recreational vehicle services are all conditional uses within this zone, so that's why we're here tonight. So Elite Repairs hours are between 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They currently have 2 car lifts within the building. They are planning on possibly adding another as long as business goes well, it sounds like. All repair work will be performed within the building to ensure city codes are met, and a condition requiring that no parts be stored outside of the building was added to the motion. All of these conditions were taken from previous auto repair conditional use permits that have been approved in the past 2 years, so they should be pretty familiar. Anyways, this business will be within this existing industrial building that was built in 2004, and the parking should be sufficient to meet the needs of the business, with only 4 parking spaces taken up by 4 full-time employees. The other parking spaces will be for customers that come drop their car off to get fixed on, and then come pick up their car, and then also the occasional car that is waiting for parts, and you can also see that condition in the motion. As for the landscaping, because it's a conditional use, landscaping really has nothing to do with this business, but because it's a conditional use, we just have to review the development standards on the property. They are still in compliance with their landscaping. I actually went by there the other day, and this corner that looks dead, I guess they just resodded it. It's green grass again, which is great. Anyways, so they're meeting the tree requirement, meeting the landscaping strip requirement, and this is a light industrial zone, so that's pretty much the only landscaping requirements they have. I want to briefly touch on the use that was there before, just quickly. There was an auto body shop named Lindon Collision that was approved by a conditional use permit in 2003. Since then, they're no longer permitted in Lindon. The reason why I'm telling you this is that there has been a similar use in this space since 2003. We haven't received any complaints about Lindon Collision in the past. So I don't foresee anything coming up in the future with Elite Repairs. The reason why we got them to do a conditional use permit this time when they are slightly similar uses is that auto body uses are no longer permitted in Lindon, whereas auto repairs are with a conditional use permit. So that's why we're getting, we asked Mark to come before you today. Anyways, so I'll also go over the third condition, just, well, I guess I don't super need to go over it, but it's just that the applicant will comply with all the light industrial special provisions requirements found in the light industrial code, and that includes no person shall store junk, partially or completely dismantled vehicles or salvaged materials in an industrial zone, except if authorized by the Planning Commission behind a site obscuring fence. So essentially, this and also the other condition of no automobile parts be stored outside the building and vehicles may not be, the other conditions will make sure that this use won't, heavily impact the area. We did send out notices 2 Fridays ago. We haven't gotten any responses, which is good. Due to the nature of the business and the nature of the area, the nature of the existing use before this business, it's expected that this business will have a minimal impact on the surrounding properties within this light industrial zone. And we believe that, staff believes that with these 3 conditions, all possible impacts will be mitigated, at least with Elite Repairs. Any questions?
I'm having a hard time orienting this site plan here.
Yeah, let me,
Is it right?
so for reference, this is the aerial photo. The site plan is like the bottom of the site plan is this western line. Does that make sense?
Well, on the
So-
site plan, it says 1,000 west.
I think that's from 2003. I don't know what they were doing back then, but I guess it wasn't 1030 West back then. But see, this is that west property line, and
So where's
this is the
Geneva
north.
Road on that site plan?
Geneva Road, it's bisected. So there's 1030 West, then there's the railroad, and then there's Geneva Road over here. So I can pull that up on Google Maps really quick.
So your
Just to
front
orient.
door to your business is by the parking, I assume.
Yeah.
And so your backyard is really a narrow strip.
Right, yeah.
Where are you going to keep the cars that are being worked on and?
So,
Supposed to be inside, huh?
with
There's-
how we do stuff, a lot of times it's quick and easy, so a lot of stuff comes and goes quick. If there is a car or something that may need to be pushed out or something, it'll be a whole car, it'll look normal. While we're waiting for parts, usually, with COVID, some parts have been really hard to get, some there isn't. A lot of times, maybe 2 to 3 days tops for some parts.
In a parking stall or
Yeah,
in
in
the
a
back?
parking stall, no, just in the parking stall. And then for like the mower equipment and stuff like that, I've already talked to the landlord, and there's already a fence in between the 2 buildings and some gravel.
Right
So that
here.
anything like that we don't want, like track hose or mowers, we can park right there that's already back behind a gate. That's,
Behind the
it's
fence.
it's behind a fenced in area, you can't see.
I'm
So, yeah, it's right there.
highlighting
Yeah,
that
so
right
there on that
here
backside of
in
the
this
building
middle area.
is for us to use as well for that kind of stuff.
And that's if you look at the, original site plan for that auto body shop, they had this 6-foot chain link site obscuring fence. I don't think it's a chain link anymore.
It's not, yeah, it's fully blocked off, it's a metal fence.
But this whole area behind the building, so this is to the south of the building, was, put aside for storage for that auto body shop, and they talk about it in the Planning Commission minutes as well. So the Planning Commission brought that up also, that concern up back in 2003. So this area, I can't remember, it's 18 by 120, looks like, 18 feet by 120 feet. So that area was used for storage for this other shop, and it sounds like they'll be using that too. Storage as in things that they're working on.
We have fairly strong feelings about things that are
Yeah, I do
not
too.
working, being out of sight.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand.
Especially on
what you're saying.
a
Yep.
conditional use permit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that'll be taken care of.
Yep, for sure.
Well, and you know that on a conditional use permit, that if you do get complaints from other business owners or neighbors, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
then it does have to come back in for review to see if you're meeting all the conditions that were set up. So, I just want to make sure we're keeping things nice.
We want it to look nice too.
Okay, and from what I understand, you're only using part of the building.
Right. Yeah,
Is that
for the first
right?
little bit, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay, until you hope you grow in,
We'll hope to
get
grow
bigger and
into the rest
bigger,
of it.
huh? Okay. Just reviewing it, I don't have other questions. Does anyone else have questions?
I think staff has done a great job of identifying the possible conditions that need to be mitigated and mitigating them with the motion.
Thank you.
So I'm ready to make a motion if we're ready. Anybody else have anything?
No, that's
Okay.
great.
I move to approve the applicant's request for a conditional use permit to use the property located at 465 North, 1030 West for an auto, small engine, machine, and recreation vehicle repair business with the following conditions, 1 through 4 is listed in the staff report.
I second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the voting is unanimous. So we hope you do really well and take good care of
And you just
things.
make
and-
Jake and Wade with the city that work in, the public works happier, because we work on some of their stuff. So
Oh,
they
okay.
don't have to go nearly as far now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have got that on my list right now today. Yeah.
It's just got really out of control.
No, I've got it
And
written
when we
down.
met with them last,
Okay, just as far as planning commission topics that may need to be brought up, I just have one. I wondered if there's any updates on the status of the commercial development on the Corbridge property. Oh,
Amy did put me in contact with someone who is looking to purchase the property. We're trying to coordinate a meeting right now. I don't know who they are. I tried to tell from the email, extension, but I couldn't. So right now I don't have any information on who
so
she's.
it isn't the dental group?
I don't know who it is.
Because boy, I saw them at the council meeting and boy,
Yeah.
they just went up and down as far as their commitment to
Yeah, it could be.
develop that.
I don't know. She just gave first names and said, "Here's Mike. I think you guys need to coordinate," and wanted to make introductions. But I don't know who they are yet.
Yeah, boy, they really were
Yeah.
firm in their commitment, so I hope it's still them. Okay, the other question I had, and it sounds like there was some chattering up here about it. We're talking about requiring businesses to keep things cleaned up and not storing it out in their yards. And the Lindon nursery property right now, it is really cluttered.
It is.
Where are things at with that?
We haven't given them any notices on that. I'll be honest, we've kind of it's been like that for years. And so with the lawnmowers, we haven't done anything on it though. So that's something we can look into.
What are your thoughts
well,
on
I'm gonna take the mayor's invitation to take some photos and send to her, and she can share with the council and the planning commission of the ones I think ought to be addressed.
Yeah. And I do have
That was one of them.
and I do have our code enforcement officer looking at the one we've talked about quite a bit.
Yeah, I really don't think that just enforcing our codes will get us where we want to be. I
Right.
think we're gonna have to look at some codes.
I think so too.
And I think what we maybe need to do is spend some time as an agenda item and discuss those things. Right now, do we have any, besides Central Utah coming next time, what do we have?
Are we doing Wadley Farms,
No,
Hollow Plat Amendment, maybe? Hollows Plat?
maybe. So it might be, besides the presentation from Central Utah next time, it might be a light meeting, so,
Walker Farms as well.
yeah.
You mentioned that in the meeting, but the city council might benefit from having this representative come present to us next.
I'll invite them as well.
Seems like they would wanna.
Mhm. Yep, we'll make that invitation.
At least isn't Van Broderick still our liaison or whatever,
He is.
representative?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at least him to be
Yeah.
at that meeting.
And we can always share the recording with them as well, that they can watch.
Right. When you asked them the question as far as if that 35% could be shifted to another area of the yard, did they respond to that or?
Yeah, the issue they said is that the state regulation that they're helping to give incentives for is for the front and side yards. So they're a little hesitant to change their requirements to the back, but he said he'd be glad to discuss that more.
Well, and then, I don't know if it was Carolyn or someone else mentioned in our meeting that they were relaxing some of those standards.
That's the first I'd heard about that. It was in a mayor's meeting that she was in,
Okay,
and she was going to get more information for me.
okay. All right. I think that's all I have.
I have
Jay.
a question
Okay.
of Mike. Our state legislature, I understand they have eliminated 1/6 of our irrigation time this year.
I don't know anything about that. I apologize.
Yeah, they're taking away, instead of water being turned in on April 15th, it's now gonna be May 1st and off on October 1 instead of October 15th.
Oh, this is for the
Secondary.
secondary,
Irrigation.
yeah.
But the rates stay the same, right?
Yeah, this is the first I've heard anything about that, so I can talk to Juan tomorrow. He would have more information.
I think we got a city letter on it, didn't we? Saying that that's when.
I heard
Or
it,
was that
I
to
just
the
read
state?
it in the state legislature.
You know what, I read it somewhere too.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, but that's true.
I just wanted to know if the city's been told that, or if, I don't know.
One question I have too
You said,
is,
sorry, real quick,
ahead.
May 1st to what?
May 1st to October
October
1st.
1st.
Okay.
So in essence, 30 days we lost. Which may not hurt this spring,
that might in the
but
fall.
might in the fall, you never know.
But the way it turned warm, it could hurt. I
Good,
mean, if it stays warm for the next 2 weeks.
Supposed to get cooler.
yeah,
Okay, I'll ask about
okay,
that.
all right, thank you. That's all I had, Sharon.
No, I was just curious if you received any feedback after our last meeting on the Clyde fencing project?
Nope, I didn't.
No?
So-
Okay,
He's supposed to be updating his plans and get those back to us and working on his bond, so.
okay, that's good.
Yep.
Okay, the only other thing I have is we have a new commissioner and we'd love it if you wanted to tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, yeah, I've lived in Lindon for 15 years, and even growing up, I was telling her that I lived up in Orem, just north of the cemetery, so I went to school Oak Canyon Junior High, so. And I've lived in Provo and Benjamin. We had a farm out there, and so my husband and I moved here 15 years ago. We have 7 kids, and that is my full-time job. So, my oldest is 21 and my youngest is 4, so it's fun. They keep me busy.
You live in the Fieldstone homes, is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, Fieldstone.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I think we all introduced ourselves at the meeting. I mean, it's okay if you don't remember names for a little bit.
Okay,
But-
good.
I think we all introduced ourselves there, and we're really happy to have you.
Oh, thank you.
It's really good to have you with us.
Well, thank you. I think
And
it's,
that's nice to have a representative from that area.
well, thank you. I think it'll be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy about that. I know some of our residents have felt isolated, and the more I've talked to Carolyn, the more I realize how much thought gets put into that area, but it's not communicated
Yeah.
that there's that much thought put into the area, so it's nice
Right.
to hear about it, and, yeah, it'll be good.
Well, we're looking forward to working with you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I don't have anything else unless someone else does.
The only thing that I could think of is when I came on the planning commission, I had no idea about all the procedures, and so I don't know if there's a onboarding, but there might be, that might be a good, something to build a training or a little
We
bit of onboarding.
did last Friday.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect, so that she knows.
I got a lot of training before I started. You didn't get it.
I didn't, I come in here and someone said make a motion, and I read something. I'd never heard of anything before, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's
When I came
under
on.
the new state law, you have, that was passed last year, new commissioners have to watch the powers and duties video, and then they have to receive some instruction as well. So we spent about 45 minutes the other day going through the general plan and city motions and
She's ready to go then.
ordinances, and so,
I still feel a little lost,
So, you know all there is to know now, don't you?
yeah,
there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
she ate from the fire hose the other day, and
That's right.
so.
Okay, do you have additional information you'd
I
like to
don't,
give to us?
no, just thank you for your time coming early tonight, and
Well, that was
I know the
fun.
mayor wants to do that a couple times throughout the year, so,
Well, I thought that was really nice to meet together.
yeah.
So, thank you.
Oh, one other item, we are having our open house for our general plan on April 20th.
Yeah,
And so,
next Thursday.
yeah, next Thursday, it'll be up at the community center. We noticed it's out on the sign today. We'll be posting on social media tomorrow. We'll be posting some signs around the city and A-frame signs, and so, we're also giving a pool pass, one-day pool pass to anybody that will come. And so,
But what date was that? Is
the
that,
April
20th,
20th,
is that a Thursday?
yeah,
yes,
Stay.
it is. So,
6 to 7:30.
okay, that's what I wondered is the time.
Okay.
Okay.
How will that be presented to them? Is that, is the company coming?
they are. Landmark is coming. They'll have a bunch of boards set up and be making, it's more of an open house, so it'll be Landmark and city staff just answering questions, mainly off of the boards.
Okay.
And you expect a big crowd.
We hope so. We ordered it. Alan's printing off 100 pool passes for us, so
Oh,
we're
wow.
hoping to get some good feedback.
Yeah. Does that include, no.
Yes,
Does
if you
that
come,
include
you
if
can
we
get
show
a,
up?
you can get a one-time pool pass.
Get your extra punch.
Yeah, you can get your extra day.
Okay. Well, can we make a motion to adjourn then?
Yep.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Karen, you make our first adjourn motion.
You
How do
just
I do
say,
that?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ice
Any-
has been broken.
Broken in.
Any opposed? Nope. Well, thank you, all of you, for being here again, huh? Thanks, Mike and Mary. Thank you for